She's an inspirational speaker and coach, a mother of two girls who love to dance and live their life to the fullest, and has a strong passion for encouraging everyone to believe in the passions they have within them and live them loud and proud. I'm delighted to welcome and have a conversation with Jen Collings of Believe Your Truth on Small Talk. I'm your host, Javed Khan. Jennifer Collings, welcome to Small Talk.
Thank you so much for having me, Javed. I'm so excited we finally got to do this.
We finally are getting to do this. Now, folks, for those who are watching this show or listening to the podcast version, please go to LinkedIn and look at Jennifer's really crushing it, as Gary Vee constantly is saying. She's really crushing it, not only with her amazing videos that she's doing, but she's really getting some amazing conversations going on around a variety of things. And a couple of things we want to talk about today, Jennifer. You've started an organization called Believe Your Truth, and I wanted, please, for you to share your why. It was very intriguing to me when Jennifer and I were speaking before we started recording of why you started this Believe Your Truth. Share with that, and then I'll go right into a couple of conversation starters for us.
Absolutely. So there's two main reasons, and they are my two little girls. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I want them to become strong and independent women who aren't afraid to do exactly what they dream of, whether it be the owner of an ice cream shop or a ballerina or a motivational speaker. I want them to feel like they have a purpose and not be afraid to go out and live it. And another reason is, I've been an executive assistant for going on 12 years now, and I love it. But I never thought that it kind of fueled my fire. So I went back to careers that I've had in the past where when I speak to people and I really get to know them and, I touch people in a way that I never realized when I was out doing that. And it just took me until now to realize, like, I have a purpose, and my purpose is to help people believe theirs and live it and not be afraid to live it. Because, I think that we're all born with something, and why stay in a job that you're kind of feeling stuck in when you can go out and do so much more in the world. So that's why I started Believe Your Truth.
Now, one of the things that I wanted to hear from you, we were talking about, you just mentioned very briefly, people living their passions and dreams, but you say that there are people out there that are afraid. They're afraid to do that. From your experience, Jennifer, what's holding these folks back, and why are they afraid to do what they really want to be doing?
I think it's the fear of the unknown. I believe that, we live in a society from when we're little, and I do it with my kids now. You hear no, oh no, don't do that, don't do that. And as a parent, you're just trying to keep them safe. But your mindset starts to process that no, and then maybe as an adult, you want to try and do something new, and you might hear, well, why would you ever want to do that? You're really good at doing this. So it's this constant no, 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 no. So therefore, when you feel like there's something more for you, all you hear is this no. And it causes that fear of, oh, maybe I really shouldn't. So I believe, we're just ingrained with this fear from day one, and we have to change our mindset and make it more positive so we can move on and we can do everything that we hope we can achieve in life.
You also talk about focusing on the younger generation, and I'd really love to hear your thoughts around that, about not only focusing on the younger generation, but because they are our future, but you also talk about the younger women, the younger up and coming women, ladies. Very intriguing, that part of the conversation. I'd love for you to share with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's lots of movements out there. There's the Lean In movement, the Me Too movement. And, for years, women have kind of taken a back seat. They may be a CEO, they may be a CFO in a company, but honestly, it's been a man's world. Nothing wrong with that. But for so long, our voices have been stifled. And it's time for a change, I think. And we have to start with the younger generation. We have to let them know that you have a voice, you have ideas, you are creative. Let's get out there and use it. And let's be, equal with men, because maybe you have a better idea than that guy right there who's the head of the company. But if you share it and you're not afraid, you know, that guy who's the head of the company, he may see how genius you are, and you never know, you know, you may move up and be his right-hand person and create changes all over. So that's why, you know, like you said, our future leaders are the young kids right now. And so if we can start them out on this mindset right from the get-go, we're going to have an amazing future I see for all of us.
Now, I also wanted to switch gears. If you're watching the show through the video show, Jennifer's contact information has been on the screen through the show. If you're listening to this as part of our podcast show, go to the podcast area where there's a session description, and you'll have Jennifer's contact information there. Now, Jennifer, one last question. One last insight I wanted you to share. You've started to do these videos. And folks, again, I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, please take a look at her videos and really amazing stuff. There are many people who are wanting to do videos and really are wanting to figure out what to be doing. What's your secret? Like, what? You're very good at what you're doing in terms of your videos. You talk about the positive mindset, and, you know, it's not no, you just do it. What are some maybe 2 or 3 insights you can share with people who are afraid to do these videos, or who think that they don't look good on camera, or don't have great ideas like you do? How can you help them get over that hump and just start doing these videos?
Well, thank you for that. Because you know what, little secret, I was scared to do my very first video. You know, and there's still days where I'm not sure if my content is going to hit anybody, but in my heart, I know if I can touch just one person, then that's all that matters. You know, there may be one person who's out there maybe a little bit scared or not sure, but in a lot of my videos, I bring my personal stories to show that I've been there and I've done this, and look where I'm going today, and look where I am. And I just, you know, I open up and I share stories, because I think if, you know, I show my human side of who Jen really is, it's going to impact other people. So it's okay to be afraid. Just hit the record button and give it a go. You know, I don't do a lot of editing. I'll maybe do 2 or 3 takes of a video, but I really like the raw, emotional, who you truly are. And you know what? It's okay. Get out there, do it, give it a go. And it's those inspiring comments or those private messages that people send you back that lets you know that you are actually making a connection, and you're really like hitting somebody else like, hey, she went through exactly what I'm going through right now. So just, it's just got to be something. You know, I always say jump into the frying pan of fear, because it leads to amazing things.
Folks, you heard it. Just hit the record button and go. That's Jennifer Collings' insight today. Hit the record button and go. And it's positive mindset, folks. You know, don't people say, no, you can't. You can. Anyone can do what you can do. Now, Jennifer, one last question we ask our guests. If you had an opportunity to have a small talk conversation with anyone, living or past, who would it be for you?
Well, can I answer both of those, living and past?
Sure.
Past would be my grandfather, because he was my biggest supporter, and he would always say, Jenny, just give it a go. So I'd like to talk to him a little bit more, kind of let him know that, you know what, his words really resonate with me still to this day, and I'm passing it on to my kids.
Amazing.
And yeah, absolutely. And somebody else who I really love is Gary Vee, which is funny because you mentioned him in the beginning of this video. So he's just a real person, and you know, I just love the way he thinks. So I would love to sit down and talk to him, and just kind of tweak his mind a little bit and see where he's at.
That's amazing. Great, 2 amazing conversations with 2 amazing individuals for sure. Folks, it's Jennifer Collings. Believe Your Truth. Please check her out. Her contact information's been on the screen. If you're watching the video version, if you're listening to the podcast version, that information's in the podcast description area. Please do reach out. Start conversations. It's about networking. If there's someone in your network that you believe strongly Jennifer needs to have a conversation with, please connect them. Or if you have someone within your network that you believe that Jennifer needs to have a chit chat regarding, perhaps getting from that negative vibe to that positive vibe, this is the individual you need to connect with. Jennifer, thank you so much for being on Small Talk. It has been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Javed. I appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
Thank you to Jen Collings of Believe Your Truth for joining me on Small Talk. You can also listen to the show as part of our podcast series. Now it's your turn. Please comment, subscribe, and share. If you've got a topic you'd like to discuss on the show, please give me a call or send me an email. We'll talk with you next time.